Buttons. Do you want to come and say hi? Hey guys, welcome to Dog Guide, a guide to a guide dog. I'm Swayze, and this is Buttons. Today I wanted to talk about why do I need a guide dog, and what exactly does Buttons do for me? So let's get started. So who am I? I'm Swayze. I'm an entertainment lawyer in Los Angeles. But why am I visually impaired / partially blind? I was born with a cataract. When I was 9 months old, my mom noticed that I was squinting outside. She actually saw this exact picture and thought it was strange that I was squinting so much. So she took me to the doctor to get my eyes checked, and there was the cataract. We don't know if it was a birth defect or if it was just something that occurred really early on in life. Doesn't really matter anyways. Sadly, back then, the only fix was to remove the lens though. And so at 9 months old, I had eye surgery and removed my lens. I haven't been able to see out of it since. In all honesty, I don't even know what it's like to see out of two eyes. Little baby's sleepy, so we're gonna put her down. What is a cataract? A cataract is basically a haziness of the lens inside your eye. The cataract lens is cloudy and white. This can cause your vision to be blurry, hazy, and even less colorful. It blinds you by spreading out the light and letting in everything. I had what they call a congenital cataract, which is one that is present at birth or appears shortly thereafter. So I don't really know what it looks like to see out of two eyes, which is okay. I don't know what I'm missing. But what else do I have? Some of you may have noticed that I have two different colored eyes. Some of you may have noticed that one eye slightly looks off to the left. Well, that's part of side effects. Here, let me actually show you a little bit better about my eyes. So here, zoomed in, you can see my eyes a lot better. My two different colored eyes is called heterochromia. It just literally means two colors. In my bad eye, or my brownish green eye, you can see in the top corner a little black dot. That is what they call polychoria. This is actually a second iris opening in my eye. I think both the heterochromia and the polychoria are side effects of having surgery at such a young age. When I was born, I actually had two blue eyes. And then after the surgery, my blind eye started changing colors. The heterochromia doesn't really affect my vision, but the polychoria does make my eyes very light sensitive. I am pretty much always in sunglasses. I've even worn them inside, and not because I live in Hollywood. Another thing I have is called amblyopia, or in more common terms, lazy eye. Specifically, I have a type of lazy eye called strabismus. This is the most easily detected condition of lazy eye, where one eye looks in a different direction than the other. You can see in these photos when I was a child that it was a lot more prominent than it is right now. I was lucky enough as a child to actually be able to do something to make my lazy eye better. I had surgery when I was a young age, I think like 6 or 7, where they actually took the muscles of my eyes and tightened them to make it so that they are all together, so the eye doesn't wander as much as it used to. And the last thing that I would point out that I have is this thing called suppression of the eye. So suppression of the eye is when your brain shuts down what is coming in through your eye. Normally, you see two identical images, one from each eye, and then your brain fuses it together to make one perfect 3D image. For me, because of my amblyopia and my lazy eye, one eye looks in a slightly different direction than the other eye. Because of my cataract, what it sees is blurry. So what happens is the brain sees this distorted image, and then when it tries to put the two images together, it rejects it. A lot of the time when I'm looking at things, my right eye, my blind eye, is just shut down. It's not black, it's not blurry, there's just nothing there, and I don't even realize it. If I actually am paying attention and forcing myself to see out of both eyes, I usually have double vision, which usually means there's an extra little outline of everything that I see. So my brain, in order to correct that, just turns off the eye or suppresses it. So do you want to know what it looks like through my bad eye? Here's close to what it looks like if I were to close my good eye and look back at you guys through my bad eye. One thing I like to say is that I'm blind in one eye and can't see out of the other. Because while I am blind in my right eye, I actually need a contact in my left eye. It's a vicious circle, but this one is still correctable. Hopefully, it will stay that way for the rest of my life. So what exactly does this little thing do for me? Well, Buttons has been trained to walk on my right-hand side only, my blind side, and is trained by using the leash to tell me how close or how far I am away from things. It's very handy. Here's a video of her walking with me, and you can see how she goes all the way out when I'm far away from something, and she comes in as close as she needs to when I'm close to something. In addition, one of the best things is that she gives me comfort when she's walking on my right-hand side so that I don't feel the need to hug the wall on my left-hand side. Without Buttons, since I'm not able to see anything, I get as close to the wall as possible, which ironically means I usually run into things on my good side. Some of the other things she has to be able to do is not get distracted by anything around her, including other people, food on the floor, other animals, or anything that may smell good that would make her want to stop. Her main job is to pay attention to what I'm doing. This includes stopping and starting whenever I do. This could mean that she's standing there for a long amount of time just waiting for me to do something. Or when we go to crosswalks, she needs to know when I move, when I stop, when I go. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you like what you saw, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Leave a comment if you'd love to tell us how adorable Buttons is. We love hearing it. And of course, please now enjoy your moment of Z's.